Hope all is well with everyone. We're gonna get started in just a second. I thought I had my there it is. I thought I had excuse all the noises. I have this. Oh no. Okay, there we go. I'm hitting everything but what I want to hit. Everything is like right here in this way. But I thought I had my lip gloss ready and accessible. So I can remember to do it, but then I forgot. So we're gonna go ahead and put this on. Get the look going. Okay. I hope all is well with everybody. We're gonna get started. Today we're going to be talking about our rooted connection, or what we should have a rooted connection in, and making the connection between our fatigue and alignment and lack of alignment, and why our body is being impacted the way that it is every single day with the habits that we have. Because it's important for us to understand that our body signals come from the symptoms that we're having. So if we're having symptoms of fatigue, if we're having symptoms of feeling like we have no energy, dealing with itis after we eat, this is a signal from our body to let us know that we are overwhelmed and we're not getting what we need. And so when we go through the I'm tired all the time and think that that's normal and that's something that you just have to deal with, and that you just need more sleep, that you need to depend on coffee, or that you just have to push through because this is a part of being a woman. This fatigue is not just because you're tired, but it's a deeper signal from the body to let you know that there is internal stress going on. And this internal stress is causing hormonal chaos. And so when you are down the path of a hormonally chaotic lifestyle, you are going to be rooted in a space that makes you feel like you have no energy every day you wake up. You're going to be dependent on coffee. You're going to be thinking that pushing through is the only way for you to make it every day. And you are going to be rooted in a energetic alignment with the struggle. You're going to be energetically aligned with a lifestyle that makes you feel completely uncomfortable and disconnected to from your body. So then you're having that out of body experience every day, or wanting to do escapism every single day. And this is because you are not rooted in what your body is supposed to feel like. And so when you don't understand the connection, your body sends you signals that feel like a burden. And so then you're thinking that your body is turning against you and it's not working right. So there's something wrong with you, and that every woman has to deal with this. And this is a part of being a woman, and that it runs in your family. When there is nothing wrong with you as a woman, but you need to learn how to be rooted, not only physically, but energetically with what your body is needing, and understand what the connection means between your symptoms that are a message rather than being a burden. And so you have to get to the root cause of why the fatigue is causing you to have low energy, why your body is not using food to convert into energy, why you're waking up even though you get enough sleep with no energy. And so really breaking that down is going to support you in not only getting rid of that fatigue, but also getting in an energetic alignment with your body that allows you to feel more safe inside of yourself. Because a lot of y'all are not realizing that your body cannot trust you and it does not feel safe. From the space that you are in, the fatigue that you're dealing with, the lack of alignment is making your body be in fight or flight mode, and it cannot trust you. And so the fatigue isn't just about you stayed up too late or you've had a busy week and you're stressed out, but the fatigue is because your body is giving you whisper signs, whisper symptoms that your system is out of balance with what it needs. Your adrenal glands are little tiny glands that are supposed to regulate your stress hormones as well as other hormones. Like, for instance, your brain sending out signals to let you know it's okay for you to release more estrogen or progesterone, or that you've had enough. And this adrenal gland is supposed to keep you out of fight or flight mode. But when you are in a space of survival mode every single day, you are going to overwork that gland, which is going to cause you to be in a constant fatigued state, a stressed out state. And it's going to lead you to chronic exhaustion that you can't pinpoint why you're dealing with it. How come you every single day wake up with no energy regardless of how much you sleep? Or you're trying to catch up on sleep on the weekends and you're sleeping 12 to 14 hours, and yet you still wake up and you feel off. This is because you are overworking your system completely, but this is specifically talking about the adrenal stress that you were putting yourself under, which is a major component into your hormone balances. So a lot of women are dealing with hormonal imbalances right now, which also is affected by the liver, it's affected by the kidney, the pancreas, and the gut. But the adrenal glands are an important part of regulating a stress hormone. Your gut is also another important part that regulates stress hormones, because most of your cortisol starts in your gut. So if you're having a cortisol issue of it being too high or it being too low, you need to look at your gut health. What do you eat? Do you support your gut pH? Because too many people do not support their gut pH, and they think that the reason why they're not being supported is because they're not on a gut supplement or that they have to do a diet. You don't need a gut supplement. You don't need a diet. What you need to learn how to do is shift your habits towards food. Start using stabilizers for your gut as well as stabilizers for your blood sugar before you start consuming foods. Because when you get your pH for your gut where it needs to be, you can actually absorb the nutrients that you were eating and consuming. And so many of y'all are so heavy, especially the ones that are the gym gurus or the people who swear by eating meat and dairy all the time and it's okay. Y'all aren't realizing that you're doing more harm than good by getting these meats and these dairies for proteins and whatever else that you think you're getting from dairy. But you getting that source of protein, not realizing that you're not using stabilizers, which is causing you to have instability in your gut and instability with your blood sugar, which is causing you to have things like insulin resistance. It's causing you to not absorb the nutrients that you're consuming to use it into energy, but rather making your body use more energy in order for it to digest the food that you're eating. Because regardless if you don't eat fast food, you don't eat at restaurants, you have to think about how it's impacting your body. If you're not doing all these different things, why are you not reaping the benefits of your body feeling good, looking good, having energy? Why are you still dealing with hormonal imbalances? Why are you still dealing with the issue of PMSing? These are questions that have to be answered. Because you follow the same system of the pyramids and the plates, and yet somehow you're not feeling the greatest. Yet somehow you have to continuously do a diet. Thank you for the follows in the comments, guys. I really appreciate it. And this is because you're overworking a system and not supporting enough with the foods that you eat and the products that you use. Because too many people don't realize how much energy it takes from the body to convert the meat that you are consuming, digest it, and then try to dissect the different parts for nutrients, for vitamins and minerals. By the time a lot of y'all get done with the digestive process, you don't even have anything left to convert anything or shift anything into a vitamin or a mineral that you can use. So then all your body is doing is expelling it out, holding on to it if you can expel it out, or it's holding on to it. I've said this and I've talked to many different people that eat meat and eat dairy and have to get them into this mindset of understanding. And they're like, wow, I never thought of it that way. If you're not, one, you're eating meat and you're not cleansing every single month. Two, you eat meat and you're not eating a majority of plant-based foods, but you eat meat and dairy for a majority of your meals and your snacks and etc. or whatever you're eating. You have to realize, one, you're feeding parasites inside of your body. And two, when you consume that much meat, like I said, it's throwing your body off when it comes to the chemical balance of you being able to digest and release. So you're making your body work harder in your digestive tract, which is going to cause you to hold on to some things. So when you look outside and you see that there's a deer on the side of the road, for example, that has been run over by a car, no longer alive, what do you see? There's birds picking at it. There's different insects picking at it. There are different parasites that latch onto unalive things that are rotting. So think about the meat that's inside of your body that already has parasites in it because you don't do enough cleanses correctly, because you think doing a diet of keto, paleo, Weight Watchers, or you take a supplement and think that this is going to help you and support you in you releasing and cleansing instead of doing it appropriately with fruits and vegetables. What do you think that meat is doing inside of you when it's stuck inside of your digestive tract? What do you think is happening when your body is not expelling the way that it should be? And so then it holds on to that meat that you ate last night instead of releasing it. And you've had it in there and you haven't cleansed this month and you've been eating meat every single day. You don't think that it's going to be backed up inside of your system at some point? And if you eat meat, you have parasites because there are parasitic bugs that latch on to meat. And the meat has been packaged. It's been pumped up with different things and then put on your shelves for you to consume. It's able to sit there for however long that it's on the shelf, and you don't think that it's going to lose quality at some point. You don't know how long it's been shipped, how long it's been packaged. You don't know how long it's sat in the factory. You don't know how long it's sat in the grocery store. And you don't think at some point it would change color. It would change texture. It would change any aspect of what a raw, fresh meat versus a frozen, refrigerated, packaged meat. But yet somehow it doesn't change color, it doesn't change texture, it doesn't change any aspect, and it can sit there in a package for weeks on end. But when you look and you see what happens to meat, specifically something that is rotting and decaying on the side of the road, yes, it's being picked on, it's been fed on, but still it's attracting parasitic animals and creatures. And you have parasites inside of your body that need to be released by the actions that you have when it comes to food. But too many people don't know how to do that from a natural space. Because I say this all the time, if you're not using food as your medicine, you're not eating correctly, taking a tincture, using a supplement, doing some type of flush cleanse that you think is going to work is not going to help you the way that it does when you use food as your medicine first. And then start incorporating other aspects when you're not getting everything, or if you're not getting everything. Because I'm somebody who has been plant-based for almost 5 years. It'll be 5 years in October. I have not had to use a supplement. I have not had to take anything in this 5-year span outside of the tinctures that I make, which this is a pain tincture that I don't even really take. And this one is an energy tincture that I rarely take, but it works. And the reason why is not because I need these things, because I use food as my medicine. I don't have to have an energy tincture. I don't have to have a pain medication. I think I made these things over 4 years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, and they're still here. I haven't used them up because I don't need to depend on these things. But you're having to depend on diet culture. If you didn't do diet culture, you would be overweight, full of diseases. You have to depend on a supplement in order for you to get iron, because if not, you're going to be iron deficient and anemic. You have to depend on a prescription. You have to depend on that surgery. Do you see the difference of somebody who is taking care of their body and understanding what their body needs versus someone who is depending on the system that has poisoned you? Because that's what y'all are doing. You're depending on a system that has poisoned you, kept you out of the loop. And then you wonder why things aren't working. And when somebody brings up that you have to eat more fruits, you have to eat more vegetables, you have to use food as your medicine, you're arguing that you're not going to get everything that you need and you have to eat for your blood type. Thank you for the follows. But you're overloading your system and the lifestyle that you're currently living and dealing with. And so your liver and your gut are trying to detoxify and release every single day, but they're overloaded with processed foods, toxins from your products, hormone disruptors that you consume and you use. It's having issues filtering your body. Your body is having issues filtering properly because of the different aspects of your habits. This is leaving you feeling sluggish. It's leaving you inflamed. It's leaving you foggy. That weight gain that you can't explain or you can't lose. Or not being able to hold a healthy weight. Because I talk to people who cannot hold a healthy weight at all. And they want to gain weight, but they want to live a plant-based lifestyle because they know that automatically just because you're skinny does not mean that you're healthy. And I talk to them, and the majority of the time they have the same habits. They've never watched what they ate. They eat whatever they want because they're skinny. And then when they finally get to the point where they realize that they're not healthy, they're not even eating enough. And so I'm like, what are you eating? Either they don't eat anymore because they've gained weight, or they're still small and they want to gain weight, but they're not eating what they should be. So they're eating snacks. They're eating like chips. They're eating cookies. They're eating candy, because anything is food, instead of realizing that quality food needs to be put in the body. But we're taught, as long as you're eating according to what they say, eat your meat, eat your dairy, limited processed snacks, but as long as you have a limited amount, you're fine. That's what we abide by. And when you look at society, you look how they are. We're all dealing with the same health issues, the same struggles, and all of them are fueled by toxins and inflammation. So what toxic or inflammatory habits do we all have that we all follow? You have to put two and two together. It's a system to keep you confused. It's a system to keep you sick. And it's a system to keep you spending money in a space that you shouldn't have to spend money in. Because people are complaining. I had somebody in my comments, and this like made me chuckle. Instead of pissing me off like it should have, it made me chuckle because I was looking at the comment like, this is how I know you don't eat fruits and vegetables. Because somebody was in my comments and was saying how they have to eat cherries now because they're diabetic. Mind you, you should be eating cherries regardless. It shouldn't be you develop a disease and now you have to eat fruits. But they're saying that they had to eat cherries now and they're so expensive. So what do you do as an alternative besides cherries? Let me say that one more time. What do you do as an alternative besides you buying the cherries and eating them when you need to be eating the cherries regardless? And so I'm sitting here and I'm like, if cherries are expensive to you, do you go out to eat? Do you do any recreational like hobbies? Do you eat meat? Do you eat dairy? Because people make time and money for the things that they care about and what they want. You obviously don't want to heal your diabetes because you're complaining about a price of a cherry when I know you're still eating meat and dairy. These are the people that I don't argue with, nor do I want to work with. But it's just a comical thing to think that people are complaining about a price of a bag of cherries. But if they see meat on the shelf that's expensive as all get out, as long as they can get their protein from meat, it don't matter how much they have to spend because they're going to fit it in. You want to go out to eat with your friends, you're going to fit it in. So why in the world are you in my comments asking me about the price of cherries and what alternatives you can get to cherries when you need to be eating the cherries? Which cherries are not the only thing that you can help regulate your blood sugar. But my point is that people would be in somebody's comment to get all the free help that they possibly can, and they do nothing to change. So I have stopped I'm going to stop responding to a lot of comments that I can already see through and tell that all they're trying to do is just get free information for something that I cannot help you with because you don't want to change. I can help the people who want to change, who want to shift, who want that healthy habit. But for the people who just want a quick, fast solution that are looking just like they take prescriptions or have surgeries, I'm not the one for you, nor can I help you. Go find a guru, go find somebody else that is trying to sell you something from TikTok Shop, and they're trying to sell you a supplement or a diet, or they're trying to give you some kind of workout package, even though you know dang well you're not going to work out past a month or two of working with these people. Because it's not changing your habits. Yes, you're adding in a new habit of you didn't work out before, now you're working out. But you didn't change your habits towards food. So you're going to start over consuming when you get hungry from you burning more calories from being in the gym. Yes, you're going to be sitting here going back to your old habits of craving sugar because you never learned how to stabilize your blood sugar. So when you are craving more calories and you're hungry and you're eating the same things that were making you malnourished in the first place, now you're going to be sitting here craving more sugar after your workouts, which then in return, what you're going to do is eat the sugar because you worked out, because you feel good, because maybe you lost 5 to 10 pounds. And then when you stop working out in the 1 to 2 months after you stop being in that program, now you're going to go back to the old habits. You're already eating the terrible way, but you stopped working out, and now you've gained more weight than when you went into the program. This is what diet culture does. Thank you for your heart, man. I appreciate it. This is what diet culture does. It keeps you in a loop of non-sustainable habits. But when you change your lifestyle around with the lifestyle habits that you need, these are sustainable habits. These are the way for you to be able to get your body back in balance and understanding how to support each aspect, your adrenal glands, your liver, your gut. Your pancreas is your regulator for your blood sugar. So like I said, when you're not using stabilizers for your blood sugar, you are going to have those crashes every time you eat, every single day. Thank you for the roses. I appreciate it. You are going to have a sugar high, and then maybe you're going to depend on coffee. Maybe you're going to try to eat a sugary snack, or whatever that you are going to consume is going to throw off your balance and then make you have the itis. So stop telling yourself that I'm just tired and this is what it is. This is my life. This is part of being a woman. But understand that you need to pour into getting in alignment, and you need to start listening to what your body is telling you. Because when your body is not listening, when your body is no longer able to trust you, you are going to be down this continuous path of confusion, a continuous path of your body breaking itself down, giving you symptoms and signs, and you ignoring them. All because it's overworked, because that's what happens. It's overworked. Plant-based does, because you're eating spiritually dead foods. When you are eating meat, rotting carcasses, that's spiritually dead. You're eating and consuming dairy or drinking milk from a cow, from an animal that was not meant for you to consume from. That is spiritually low energetic. So when you're sitting here eating these same two foods, these categories of meat and dairy every single day, you are every single day putting yourself into a low energetic space. And people don't realize that enough. And so they're wondering why they're so fatigued. That's an energetic aspect. Because when you are sitting here storing these emotions, which is being stored, aka as the meat that cannot be digested, like I just talked about a minute ago, you're storing the emotions of that animal, what they've been through, because that's literal trauma. Trauma stays inside the body. We know this. Women hold trauma in our hips. Animals hold trauma in their fats. We hold trauma in our fats, but specifically women, because in our reproductive area, that's where we hold the most protective fats. So think about how animals also have protective fat layers to keep stress, to keep toxins away from that area. And think about how the fact that you're eating the most fatty, hardy part, trying to get that protein from meat, because that's what you've been told to do. Their stress, their grief, their fear, all of that is stored inside of them. Whatever they have going on, because it's not like these animals are raised on a farm and taken care of, because you're not going to the farmer's market, getting to know your farmers, getting to know what's going on with the meat. Because if you were, you would be less likely to even want to eat it, period. You're not sitting here thinking about that weight that carries with you from the animal, because that is an energetic space. Fatigue isn't just about you having low energy. It's about low alignment. It's about ignoring the body's signs. When your energy is scattered, when your boundaries are weak, when you're not rooted in your cycle and syncing with your cycle, you are going to leak energy everywhere. And this is causing your fatigue. You're leaking energy from every aspect, and you have no more energy to put towards yourself. So when your fatigue is making you feel like you are always tired, it's because you are. Your body is tired. It's chronically tired. Your body is saying, I'm out of alignment spiritually, physically, and emotionally, and I need you to bring me back in balance. But you have to know how to listen to it in order for you to actually bring it back into balance, to actually root in that space. So when you do eat in that space of you releasing toxins, releasing those parasites, flushing your system and helping everything move, eating your fruits, eating your vegetables, organic, non-GMO, non-appeal, you will understand what the connection is actually supposed to feel like between you, yourself, and everyday you, and your internal body of what you feel like, your spirit. You won't feel disconnected. You won't feel out of body. That means knowing what your body is asking for you, knowing when your body is out of alignment, physically and emotionally. A lot of people can feel depression, for example, anxiety, and they can say, oh, I'm anxious, I'm depressed, but you can't pinpoint why. And a lot of y'all are not realizing it's deeper than just because you're stressed out from family and work, but it's literally because you have eaten yourself into slight insanity. Because when you're malnourished, your gut is off. It's going to throw your brain off. And so then not only do you not have enough nutrients for you to have a discerning thought and for your systems to work properly, but now the brain is going, well, your gut is off and all my hormones are off. So I guess I'm just going to have to sit here and be a little crazy today. And then tomorrow, and then a month from now, and then a year from now. And then it's been 10 years of anxiety. And then now it's 20 years in and now you're having panic attacks. 30 years in and now you have a severe depression. Because you've had the same habits that you have not changed. But when you cycle sync, when you eat with intention, when you actually learn how to cleanse your body from a detoxifying space and not a diet space, and get rid of toxic products and toxic habit patterns, I said that backwards, you create your body's harmony to be able to trust you across every aspect, your liver, your pancreas, your gut, your kidneys, your adrenal glands, and they're all going to be able to communicate with each other and say, I'm safe. We're not in the space we're safe. But when you're not supporting it, it can't feel safe. So it can't send out signals to stop the fight or flight mode, but it continuously sending out stress hormones. And y'all are in fight or flight mode in the space of what they have trained you into, because that's what it's about. It's about understanding how to release and then reset. You can't just reset. You have to release. Get rid of the toxins, get rid of the toxic habits, reset what's going on. But when I'm in for example, when I'm showing people how to do it in my program, I'm not jumping into straight, you're going to detoxify this first week and we're going to fix everything and it's going to be fine. We work on spiritual energetics first, because you have to work on your energy, your emotion first, in order for you to step into the space of making plant-based meals you've never have cooked before. Understanding how important it is for you to eat a rainbow plate, and the aspect of the fact that you don't have to have meat every day, all day with every meal. Knowing the fact that once you get those plant-based meals down, you can make non-toxic products. You can make natural medicine. And it's not difficult to do these things. You just need a simplified strategy. And then once we've got this meaty, hearty core down, then that final week we do a detoxification and a cleanse. Because it all comes when you are mentally prepared, when you're physically understanding the aspect of how to make plant-based meals, and you're away from the space of thinking, this is going to be too difficult, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do. Because too many people are overwhelmed in their life as is. And they think that they're lazy, they think that they're broken, they think that they have a lack of willpower and that they just can't do it. But it's because your system is out of alignment and you cannot trust yourself that you feel lazy, and society tells you that you're lazy, but you're lacking energy. It's not because you're lazy. Thank you for the follow. It's not because your body is broken and this is a part of being a woman. This is what society has trained you to feel like. And so you never learned how to sync with your cycle and balance your hormones and support your cycle phases. So you push through the fatigue, you ignore your bloating, you think that that's normal, or brain fog is normal, or having irregular cycle is just a part of being a woman because doctors have told you this is normal. But it's not normal, it's common. Because normal bodies are balanced. Common societal bodies are out of sync, out of whack, dealing with a number of different illnesses and diseases. Drinking coffee throughout the day, even though they still have no energy after the coffee, drinking 2 or 3 coffees. And so this is why I created my Balanced Body program, to help you be able to cycle sync and sync with sync your habits with that, so that you can use food as your medicine and help you be able to get away from that survival mode and actually shift. And so that you're no longer seeing these symptoms as a burden, but actually understanding that these symptoms are a sign to let you know it's time for you to change, and you can. Because when you stop hearing your body, or you never know how to read these signals, that's when there's a problem. When you no longer are getting any signs and symptoms, but yet you still feel like crap, that's the problem. That means you no longer can hear your own body and you are having an out-of-body experience. That is an energetic issue. That is a spiritual issue. Stop numbing and ignoring the signs and actually understand, are you rooted in your body? Are you rooted in what you're supposed to feel like? Are you honoring your cycle? Are you in alignment? Or are you just feeding burnout? Because a lot of y'all are just feeding burnout, and you can't be burnt out for 20, 30, 40 plus years and then turn around and think that at the end of the lifetime, when you're retired, it's supposed to give back to you and you're supposed to feel good and you're supposed to feel better, because it's not possible. It's not possible at all. So if you are ready to shift and you are ready to actually unlock that simplified strategy, and you're actually able to understand the space of where we are currently when it comes to our food, and how the way that Western medicine has been treating us is not supported us, and this is why we're so sick, you can join my Balanced Body program that's linked in my bio. It's going to help you be able to balance, because that's the key. Getting back to the space of knowing how to get in alignment. And you can get everything with Klarna, Affirm, Afterpay. It's going to help you be able to start listening to your body again by syncing with those cycle phases. Because as a woman, we have to sync with our cycle phases. So what questions do you guys have for me? It is Friday, so I won't be... Yeah, this is Friday. I was like, is it Friday today? I had a question. It is Friday today. So I won't be online live or anything tomorrow, but we will be back on Sunday. Hopefully I can go live on Sunday. I try to go live 3 days a week. Usually it's around Sunday, Monday, and then maybe like a midweek, or Sunday, Tuesday, midweek. But I also post all of my past lives on YouTube. So if you've either missed this live, or if you have missed any past lives, they are posted on my YouTube. I post every Tuesday and Thursday. So what questions do you guys have for me? Thank you for the gifts, guys. Thank you for the follows. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the roses. Any questions? And if you have any questions about the program after I get off, or if any of the links aren't working, please DM me. If you have not gotten on my email list, I send out a wellness email every single Wednesday, as well as I let you know when I go live and when I post on YouTube. And also, if something happens with this app, which I don't think it will, but if something happens, you will know where we're going, where our lives are going, and et cetera, et cetera. It's a great way for you to stay in community and also stay up to date with what's happening. I also have a plant-based mastery quiz. You can go check that out. You can take that for free. I have plenty of resources to help you be able to get started, and plenty of resources to help you along if you need that support and that guidance, linked in my bio. So go check that out. I'm not seeing any questions. I really appreciate you guys for the follows. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome into the new community members. We are I think 200 maybe a little give or take away from us having 4K followers over on TikTok. So we are growing. The community is growing. Email list is growing. So I hope that we continue not only the conversation and discussion, the Most High allows it next week, but also just continue to grow. And I hope that I can continue to support you in the best way possible. So I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your day. I post on TikTok Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So stuff to buy on a low budget. I do it based on, everything from my program is tailored to your lifestyle. So it's not necessarily like I have like a set thing of like, okay, because I don't know your budget. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. I don't know your budget. So I try to shop in bulk, for instance. That's just my go-to. I try to buy as much as I can so I don't have to go back to the store. But some people are, shopping on a budget where they can only buy limited things at a time. But I personally like to just buy everything that I possibly can, because I don't like going back and forth to the store. But it is a simple process for you to be able to map out a budget and know how much you need and what you need of. It's the matter of, one, are you motivated enough for you to sit down and have that conversation with yourself of what can you give and what can you take from whatever aspect, if you're budgeting or etc. Because if you want, for instance, how they were complaining about cherries are expensive. If you want cherries, you need to factor in cherries into your budget. It's just a matter of, what do you prioritize? If you prioritize avocados, do you have the funds for you to get, 2 bags or 3 bags a week of avocados if that's your favorite protein source? It's the matter of your lifestyle and what you are, what are you desiring? And so that's what I do in the program. Everything is tailored to that specific client. It's not a one and done. I send you out all this information and you have all this stuff. I go through the program with you. We have our one-on-ones. We have our masterclass sessions. We have our app in between, so you can contact me if you have any questions. There are a number of different ways that we are in contact during that 6-week program that help you be able to tailor your lifestyle and tailor to whatever that you have going on, 9 to 5, kids, low budget, high budget, whatever it is. What times on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so I can tune in. I don't have a set time. That's why my email list is there. But Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays are for my posts on TikTok. My lives are usually Sundays. Sundays, I try Mondays. Mondays don't always work, and I try to do it like my third one before Friday. So it's usually like a Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Sunday, Monday. Today's Friday, which is random. That's what I was like. I usually am not on Fridays for lives because it's such an iffy day. But if you're on my email list, I send out an email before I go live every time, so you'll know when I'm going live because it's a sporadic time. It's not a specific time. I try to get on when I can. Like I said, I have clients, one-on-one sessions with them. Sometimes I'm doing behind the scenes emails and work with them. Sometimes I'm, on the app talking to them. And so it take my days they go. It's in my bio. All of the links are in my bio. So it goes up and down. My schedule changes. Like I said, I work with people who have 9 to 5s. I work with people who don't have 9 to 5s. And my 9 to 5ers need me after 5. But then there are other people who can contact me and want to have one-on-ones earlier, and they want to talk to me earlier in the day. Oh, you're so welcome. You guys are so welcome. Any more questions for me at all? Thank you for the questions. I really appreciate it. Any more questions for me? And if you do celebrate but if you do abide by the Sabbath, happy Sabbath. Like I said, I do be offline for business and I don't work on Saturdays. So I won't be responding. If you do send me any DMs, I'm not ignoring you. I'll be back online responding on Sundays. I'm not seeing any questions, so I'm going to let you guys go. I hope you guys have an amazing rest of your weekend. Happy Friday. And I'll try to be back on Sunday. I'll see you guys later. Peace.